of you reached out to me after I covered a story about a Black inventor named Julian Brown, and uh, that video really took off. I was really surprised by that. But a number of you reached out to me to alert me that apparently he has been missing. And I want to get into, all of that and the video that he posted before people felt like he just kind of disappeared. His mother has now issued a response. So we do have some good news here, but at the same time, we still have some worrisome news. So the good news is, it turns out, according to his mother, he is not missing. Now, let's see where people may have gathered this from. Now, again, for those who are not aware, Julian Brown, 97th Trail, shared this. Young scientist that created gasoline out of plastic goes missing. Fans fear his discovery made him a target. So this was Julian Brown. You guys, many of you remember I covered this story about the inventor, and he said that he was being watched, that there were helicopters flying above him, right? So take a look.
So I've created my own gas station that makes fuel from plastic waste. So I've created my own.
Let me just go back here. Sorry, I forgot to lead into that. He basically took plastic and created fuel out of plastic, and he calls it plastoline. And there's a number of videos of him. There's interviews of him as well, talking about his invention. And last time I talked about him, I played a video of him where he was saying that he was being watched, that there were helicopters flying above him where he was working on his invention. So this is him, for those who are not aware.
So I've created my own gas station that makes fuel from plastic waste. Let's go. So this is plastic crude oil. And as you can see, we have quite a bit of this plastic crude oil. Well, it can be fuel, but we need to refine it and clean it up. So let's do that. So I've created my own.
Yeah, so he has a number of videos. He had a YouTube channel. And I told you guys, like when I covered this the first time, that this would be a big threat to big oil, that they would not be happy with this, right? Like, and they would see that as a money problem. Someone trying to make another source of fuel. And he said that it wouldn't cost, because you're basically taking plastic that's already been used and you're running it through that machine. So it's not like you would be paying like $4, $5 a gallon for gas. Then this happened. This was the video that Julian Brown made where he said that he was being watched. And this was the one, I think, that sent the first alarm to people.
I know that I'm not going to live long. And that's why I put every day, every hour, every minute into building, into growing. Why am I out here working on this plastic in the fuel reactor I've been working on for 5 years, since I was 17? Why am I out here in 100-degree weather? Why am I out here despite being falsely accused and reported to the EPA and the IRS? Why am I out here despite weird black helicopters that turn off their radar transponder circling me 6 times at night? Why am I out here sleeping in my van? Crazy humidity, mosquitoes, gnats flying in, and yet I still do it. Why am I out here despite having to drive 4 hours every time I want to work on this machine? Because when I was doing it in my parents' backyard, I blew myself up and I had to go to the hospital for 2nd-degree burn surgery. I do this because this is my mission that I've assigned myself to. I do this because I do not fear death. I do not fear suffering or uncomfortability. You know what I fear? I fear allowing an idea of something that may not even exist or happen have enough control over your entire life to where you're not even really living your life. That's the only thing I fear. And thus, I am completely set on what I want to do here, and nothing will steer my course but myself. And I am not a quitter. And now that I've set my mind on this, because I wish to liberate humanity, I wish to liberate humanity from this cycle in which we're bound by waste, in this cycle in which we're bound by division, in this cycle in which we're bound by not knowing ourselves. I wish to free us all from all of this. And now that I'm set on that mission, I'm not giving up. And so it will happen, no matter what. Because you know what? To me, when I'm building something, I expect it to be hard. I expect it to be uncomfortable. I expect it to be difficult. You know why? Because that's the whole point. You have to suffer to grow. You have to feel uncomfortable to attribute value to what you do. So you may see this and you see a piece of metal with certain pieces of metal welded onto it, but I see it for what it really is. I see it because when I see this, I can go back in time to not just putting it together, but the motivation as to why I put it together, the hope, the purpose, the passion, all right here embodied. My soul is within this, just as yours is within anything you do and put your mind to as well. So if you wonder why I'm out here and why I'm not going to do anything else but continue to stay on this mission until I see it through, until I say it's complete, that is why. Because it doesn't matter what anything externally is. There is no threat. There is no uncomfortability. There is no amount of suffering that will steer me from what I wish to do, because that is the life I wish to live.
So that was the first warning that Julian Brown put out before I covered that video of him last time. And again, yeah, it would be a threat to big oil. They're not interested in other alternatives. He's also a big environmentalist. I know a number of people have been asking, what would this do to the environment, right? Like what type of emissions would this put out? And I think that might have been something that he was trying to work on with that. But I don't know. Then I got these emails from a couple of you guys and a couple of DMs from people that said this guy is all of a sudden missing or that he had disappeared. And it seemed to have come after this video here that he made. And then he just seemed to sign off online.
All right, listen, everybody. I can't go into too much detail, but there is some very, very odd stuff going on. I'm certainly under attack right now from in many different ways, and I just want everybody to know to just kind of have your eyes open. And I have my eyes open, but there's a lot going on. So I'm still working. I'm still building. Nothing's gonna stop that. But I'm just telling you guys right now, be on the lookout because I'm under attack. So I've created my own gas station that makes fuel from plastic waste.
And you guys saw this part here already. Yeah, we already saw this part. But here's the part where, remember he said we got to clean it up a little bit. Here's the part where you'll see it becomes more golden.
So we start to see some golden droplets coming over. And how do we know what type of liquid this is? Is it gasoline, diesel, jet fuel? Well, it's all based on temperature. You can see the condensate temperature at this elbow here is just under 100 C, about 90 C there, which translates to about 190 Fahrenheit. And that lines up with the temperature boiling point range of gasoline. This here is plastiline, gasoline I made from plastic waste. We are going to put it inside of this. It's indeed in there. Yes, indeed. There we go. See?
That's weed whacking I've seen done 3 years.
Folks, I have just mowed the lawn with plastic waste. You guys understand what this equation is? Plastic plus microwaves
Did it all.
equals equals fuel.
So do you guys see what he did there? He was able to put that fuel inside of that. I think that was a weed whacker there. Last time when I covered this story, I showed him put it inside of someone's truck and they started it up as well. So here's the thing, guys. And this is what worries me. His mom His mom has come forward and she said that he is not missing. Now, listen to this. So that's the good news. He hasn't disappeared. He's not missing, but he is trying to, I guess, go off the radar. And again, this is coming from his mom. Missing inventor Julian Brown's mother says he is safe after he went dark online following ominous Instagram post. Let's go ahead and get into this here. Missing inventor Julian Brown's mother says that he is safe. Okay, so his mom is saying that he is safe. And it goes on to say, I can confirm Julian is safe, but in the best interest of his security, I'm not able to provide any more information. Nia Brown apparently told the Daily Mail. So the good news is he's not missing. Mom knows where he is, but she can't tell you, and she's not telling you. And it seems like he is taking a break, or he has, removed himself from social media. I guess trying to limit his footprint, his digital footprint, which does happen sometimes. And it seems like that's what's happening here. So I was like some of you guys too. I was worried, like when I saw it online, people were like, this guy is missing. And I was like, what? I guess I may have been one of the few people that talked about him, because a lot of people started contacting me. It was like, he's missing. But the good news is that his mom says he's not missing, but she can't tell you where he is. So she's trying to protect him. And he's apparently trying to protect himself because he's not interacting on social media after he posted that last video that I showed you. Crystal says praying he is truly safe. Yeah. It's a big, listen, let me be clear about something, okay? Because this isn't the kind of thing that billionaires and big money interests want to happen. If it gets out to more people that you can have fuel that you don't have to pay for, which is what Julian was saying, because he's like, you're taking plastic waste, all hell would break loose. And you guys know how it is, like the greedy billionaires, the greedy capitalists, they're wicked. And there is no rest for the wicked. So when they see people trying to invent something that could, I don't know, disrupt big oil or could mess with their flow of money as if they need any more money, they see that as a threat. It's like the water guy. And someone just mentioned it in the chat as well. Yes, Mike said, look up a man named Stanley Meyer Sabby. He created an engine that runs on water. His death is controversial. See what I'm saying? They don't want those things to happen. They do not want that, honey buns. Because there's another guy, Moses. I tried to find contact information for him a couple of years ago, and he also had like this water system where he was like, look, I can create water. Big money interest does not want that information getting out. They want you to be a slave to the resources and things that you need in life. Because if people start to find out that they can do some of these things on their own, or let's say, I don't know, you can create water, like Moses was saying, that changes everything, man. That changes everything. So Moses West. Yes. Thank you, Callus. Yeah. So this is why sometimes you hear people like invent something or they're creating something, and then it's like, where'd those people go? And you don't hear from them anymore. People kind of, go away. Notori said in pharma, I really do believe that there is a cure for, I've said that, yeah, I believe this too. I really do believe there's a cure for HIV and AIDS, but you better believe if someone would try to put a pill like that on the market, billionaires in the government would try to stop it. That's right. That's right. Same thing, like when people talk about cure for cancer. I told you guys, I ain't never buy into this whole thing, man. Like people been doing research, cancer research all these damn years. And you mean to tell me nobody in the US has managed to find a cure, but you hear about possible cures in other countries? You know, that would change the whole game. That would really disrupt the flow of capital for the greedy ass billionaires and CEOs that want to continue to make money off of treatment because they don't really want you to be cured. If you have to keep going to the doctor to get chemo, there's more money in that than just curing you. So I am glad that he is not missing. I was concerned there. So that's the good news. He's not missing, but I wish him the best, man. I wish him the best. And I hope that his mom, you know, I just hope that they're safe. Because I don't trust it, man. I don't trust a lot of people, especially when you're trying to do something that can really change the world. So there's that. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.